Peace and blessings, everybody. It's me, Mike Can, aka Rogue Spiritual. How y'all doing today? I'm doing great. I hope everybody has a wonderful afternoon, or whatever the case is. Listen. Basically, I'm gonna talk about a few things. You know, um, I'm just gonna say it out loud. My black people are mentally ill. The last vlog I talked about the LGBT, but now it's my black people's turn. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why they're mentally ill. I mean, first off, we already know my black people has an obsession with the industry, you know? And also, it's like for the 99 and the 2000s, there wasn't a lot of black people with different interests. And now we're in 2023 and black people um, are so unapologetically black that they still consume from cultures and ethnicities that they want to exclude. Do you understand? Like, my black people are so mentally ill that they are so black that they consume from the Asian culture, they consume for the Latinos, they consume from everybody, that they want to exclude those ethnicities and races or whatever the case is. Where in all actuality, we should become one to fight against the bullshit going around the world and here in America alone. You know, I be seeing a lot of these activists, these vloggers, this and that are so unapologetically black in the expense of Asians, Middle Easterns, Latinos, this and that. And you know what? They have nothing to do with your problems. They never did. You know what? And I don't even know what to say because they come here. We already know that they keep the money within the community circulating within their business, this and that. And if anything, they possibly contribute to the hood. But what do? Y'all take the money out of the hood in layman's terms. Like, it's so real for the 99 or the 2000s. Nobody had a problem with the Akis. Nobody had a problem, you know? All of a sudden, I'm black. I don't fuck with the Asians. I don't fuck with this. I don't fuck with that. But you want to be part of the Asian culture. You are obsessed with Asian culture. You literally fuck around and consume from Asian culture. Where back then, when COVID started, from what I understood, niggas had misguided information talking about that it started in China, but where was you otakus? Where was you otakus there to defend the Asians since you are so into Asian culture that much? But you want to buy their clothes, you want to study their history, you want to eat their food. However, where was you? Where was you where the Asians were going under scrutiny? It's like this whole trend of being a Muslim or whatever the case is. Where was y'all where Muslims, and Muslims could be anything, so it's not really a race thing, it's a religion thing. Where was y'all where Muslims was going under scrutiny back in 9/11, whatever the case is, but all of a sudden, now in 2023, everybody and their mama and Muslim or whatever the case is. Everybody and their mama and otaku. Everybody and their mama watch anime. Everybody and their mama listen to rock. Which I don't get. But you're so unapologetically black or whatever the case is that you want to exclude everybody that you consume from. You know? Listen, for the 99 and the 2000s, there wasn't that much black people into anime as much as I was into anime. There wasn't that much black people into rock as much as my classmate at the time, Kylie Miller, was into rock. And Kylie Miller was into rock, and he's African American. Kylie Miller was into rock before it became a fucking trend. You know, all of a sudden y'all listen to Slipknot, y'all call yourself a rock star and shit like that. Bitch, let me tell you something. I went through a rock phase, and I wasn't leaving with Slipknot. I escaped with Duran Gray, Disturbed, and Tokyo Hotel. Those are the three bands that I will fuck around and support should I have money, when I have money, whatever, and if I have money. Those are the three bands I'll listen to. I wasn't like, I was trying to, first of all, I was trying to understand my uncle because one of my uncles is a rocker. You know, he was into rock music or whatever the case is. So I delved into my uncle's world. That's what you don't know about. But I didn't let it get to me to the point that I started dressing like a, what you call a goth or whatever. I stood in my hip hop clothes. You know? I stood in the clothes that I grew under, but no. Yeah, back then, that whole Party Like a Rockstar record, that back then is so real that niggas started dressing, getting all these bands and this and that, taking it another step further. Let me tell you something about Kylie Miller. He grew up as an African American with different interests. A lot of people, especially his mom, considered him white. He wasn't black enough. I went through the same thing that Kylie went through, but different. Because I grew up under hip-hop and all this other shit. Kylie was a African American with a whole different interest. In fact, he gave birth to a lot of you posers. He gave birth to a lot of you posers because he was listening to rock music, this and that, before it was a trend. And he was not in goth clothes. If anything, he was in regular clothes. He was in regular clothes, casual clothes. He wasn't obsessed the way the rest of you would take that shit to another notch. Now I'm seeing, and there's nothing wrong with black people with different interests, but like I said, for the 99 or the 2000, there wasn't that much many. Because my people were so focused on shucking, driving, crip walking, and listening to hip hop music or whatever the case is. Now I'm seeing my people in certain fashions that I'm like, you could tell that they didn't grow up that way. You could tell that they was following a trend and they don't know what to do. They don't know where they come or going. Shout out to the real ones. Shout out to the real otaku. Shout out to the real blacks that were outcast. Shout out to the real everything. But to you posers, yes, I'm cursing y'all out. You know? I mean, about now coming to me, I was watching anime before it was a trend. I mean, of course, I watched the populars, the regulars, but I was watching anime that nobody else was watching. And let you know, I was a typical homosexual that was watching Sailor Moon, okay? I'm still waiting for the day to meet a heterosexual hood bugger that used to watch Sailor Moon with me. But that'll never happen. We will never have that conversation. Y'all keep it a secret. But on the low, fuck around. All I had to do was play Samurai Warriors 1 and 2. You know? And Dynasty Warriors. And that's what led me to Googling these warlords, researching their history or whatever the case is. Like, my favorite warlord was Kenshin Uesugi, you know? And basically, from what I've read on Google before I started doubting everything, that Kenshin Uesugi was a scholar before he entered the battlefield. You know, he was into literature and all. He was literally a scholar. He's a scholastic warrior. And the fact that he was a Buddhist or whatever the case is, it was pretty cool. You know? The fact that he was a strategist at his best. It was him and it was Shinjin Takeda. And after that, after I read what I read, and that's when I doubted Google. Because let me tell you something about the Asians that you be researching, or Asian history or whatever the case is. It's ancient Chinese secrets. And they might have put that on Google to fuck around and dupe an American. Okay? I'm aware of those Asians that don't fuck with Americans like that, to the point that they will fuck around, take advantage of a dweeb. Okay? They will fuck around and gas a dweeb up. You got me fucked up. Okay? So, on the real, now everybody has, and there's nothing wrong with having different interests, but y'all wasn't there. Y'all was not there. There's nothing wrong with being black with different interests, or being black that's unique or whatever the case is, but y'all was not there facing scrutiny, dealing with the mean girls, none of that. A lot of you posers waited for the coast to be clear in order to say that you had a different interest, or have a different interest, or had a different interest all your fucking life. But where was y'all? Y'all wasn't fighting for us. And then to the point that y'all still tease people for sounding white. Y'all still tease your own people for having different interests. And yes, I went, and this whole blog goes there. Because I'm petty like that. You know? Listen. Like I said, y'all are so black that you're mentally ill. Y'all still consume from the cultures that you hate, or DK hate, or whatever the case is, whatever the shit is. There's very few black businesses out here where I'm at alone. You know? Because they knew where to direct their energy. It wasn't towards their Asian neighbor or the Middle Eastern neighbor, this and this and that. And you know honestly, like I'm always gonna say, the biggest solution is for us to become one. And the conversation that I had my bro is for us to just go on radio silence. The whole America itself was shut down. America wouldn't even know what to do with us. That is the biggest solution. Not fuck around, not directing hate towards Asians or Latinos or Arabs or this or that just to prove that you're black, because honestly your energy is so misdirected. If you don't like Asians or Middle Easterns or Latinos so much, then why do you consume from those people still? If anything, you should fuck around and just eat your mama's dry seasoned food, bitch. But y'all so unapologetically black, which baffles me. You're so unapologetically black that your energy is misdirected still. You know? And when I was on my demon time, I never fucked with Black Lives Matter. I never fucked with Black Lives Matter. Listen, my life matters. I'm selfish. My life matters because on the low, Black Lives Matter. Listen, to Black Lives Matter, your China is flawed. We already seen how you want to make it a black nation to the point that you let a rapist go. To the point that you will do everything that you want in the street and get away with it. In the animal kingdom, there's no world peace. There is a food chain, and bad karma must be devoured. I've already directed Black Lives energy to the Jewish side of Brooklyn and it's worldwide neutral, along with prayer. So you can live your crime show fantasies and shit like that. Now we get into the meat of the matter for real. You know? And then fuck around, y'all still hate these other ethnicities or whatever the case is, to the point that you literally spew that hatred. Like, what the fuck? If you want to exclude other ethnicities and other cultures from your black kingdom, then stop consuming from these Asians. Stop consuming from the Middle Easterns. Stop consuming from the Latinos. Stop consuming from this. Stop consuming from that. But at the end of the day, sometimes you feel like having some Gucci fritos, right? And Aki across the street from you got some cigarettes, got some bud. He already opened a smoke shop, so where else you gonna cop? Y'all are so unapologetically black that your energy is misdirected. Thank you.